No audio. Okay, there we go. You can probably hear now. And let's see, is this correct? Can we hear also spam this in the chat. Hello, hello. We are about to kick off here. We've got a tournament match. A little Thursday night action here. Let's see, hopefully game sounds work. Yes, they do. Okay, good, good, good. Cool. Just getting a co-caster in here in a second. 1 second. It's going to be a pretty big map. It's a mountain pass, which is always interesting. 42. So that is let me check here. 42 is exactly 7 city sites per player. All right. I just call you a Discord. Huns are not on this map, and hello, Soren. All right, let me get Wetlander in here, who's going to be our co-caster, which is really exciting because Wetlander is super accomplished in single-player super challenge, the hardest game settings. So really curious to see his take on MP here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Wetlander. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. If folks in chat can confirm that, I think that'd be great.
Hello, everybody. They're still joining.
They're still joining? You're still joining?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. It's Mountain Pass, which is an interesting map, one of the new maps. Very large, only 7 sites per player. Pretty interesting terrain in the middle with some really choky areas. You can kind of wall this off pretty easily. There's just a couple chokes, so we'll see how the map goes. Always fun. We'll see what families and what nations people pick as well. And yes, Huns are off. We've had 2 games where the Huns have won so far. Our first game, Orion lost to the Huns with Nick Knight invading behind the Huns, and then this most recent game, actually, Glue ended up getting Hund, and Orion was the victor. So, yeah, always exciting. Hello, Scientific. Thank you for joining in the chat. Yeah. Are you in Wetlander?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. Well, for some reason I cannot type in observer chat. I'm not sure why. Which is odd. Usually I thought observer is good, but it's not working for some reason right now. Who knows? Yeah, let me know when you're in. And then, yeah, really interested to ever take this. Looks like a Persia start to me, because I see 2 pastures and 3 game. That's a Persia Hunter start if I ever saw one. For nobody.
Yeah, looks like it for sure.
Are you in?
No, I can see the stream, but yeah, it definitely looks like a Persia start.
Yeah, and if one player picks Persia, what does the other player pick? Probably hunters, right? Because the 3 game is better than the sheep, than the 2 pasture. So we'll see here. All right. Just letting folks get underway here. As soon as Wetlander joins, I will let our players know they can start. Right, looks like nobody did go ahead and start. All right. Was that you, Wetlander? Feel free to start.
No, I'm not in yet. I'm reloading the game.
Interesting. I don't know who said caster's ready whenever you'd like to start. So who else is observing this game? Who, yeah. Who is typing caster's ready? Oh, I'm apparently Russian. That's me. Okay. I'm Russian. Interesting. All right. And I guess someone is I was like, I guess that's observer in Russian. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, hopefully you can load here. And we did get the first player to so nobody picked Persia. This is a round 2 match. So in the previous round, nobody fought against Drunken Meister on a wild dual continent match, piloting Hittites against Moria. And then for Fiddler fought against Ant. Fiddler piloted Babylonia and defeated the Hittites. I did not see either game, I believe. So yeah, I'll be curious to see what the players do here. Yeah, Fiddler, your nation pick. Maybe he's already picked.
Sorry, I somehow can't join. So what we can do is I can just watch the match on YouTube and then just
Sure.
provide my comments.
Yeah, I can also Discord stream, so you can have it a little bit of slag. So I'll do that. You won't be able to check in game, and it looks like Fiddler is also doing Babylon. So I'll say good luck, have fun. Right, so Babylon, reasonable start. This is actually a question I was asking you before. So Babylon, of course, only has 1 military family. So if you found Hunter's capital, you use your military family for your capital, so you probably won't be able to do your second city as a military city unless you double up on Hunters. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, that's a solid logic. That's why I'm not, at least in single player, I'm not the biggest fan of Hunters. But I don't know. For the multiplayer, it's hard to say. Having the second family of the same kind back to back is not necessarily a good choice, I think.
I mean, it's just +4 discontent until you found the third and fourth family, and then it's +2 after you found the next family, and then 0. So it does a little bit of discontent. It's not that big a deal.
It's just it's not so much about the discontent. I think it's you're losing a lot of momentum by not founding the.
Yes, because you do get legitimacy from founding a family seat as well. So that's extra orders. Leader-wise, the random trait is cunning, and then Babylon chose a tactician, and Persia chose a builder. And Babylon, of course, has probably the second worst order economy in the game after Greece. All right, we are now on Simul with the turn timer on turn 2. It'll swap after 5 turns. So we've got a tactician from Babylon. No vision yet of where the barb site is, but the scout should be finding it soon. Oh, nope, moved a little bit too far, so hasn't found it yet. It's always awkward, but you do know it is going to be the north because your free city site is to the right. Let's flip over to Persia. Persia is exploring as well and also has not found the barbs. The barbs feel a little further away. than you might usually like. Mountain Pass, I think, is a little. It's one of those newer scripts, a little more varied. So sometimes it can be hard to find that initial thing, and actually no general and no. Wow, that settler is coming out very quickly. Yeah, and no. All right, the builder is gonna. Yeah, and no upgrade or no promotion for Persia either. All right, Babylon's moved there. Oh wow! Since they are a general on their tactician, they do get that extra movement point, which is really nice for mobility. So he's actually able to start hitting this camp and, of course, stunning that, which will help a little bit. So nice job finding it. Although he found, I guess, what I would call the fourth city site and not the third one. Site-wise, we got some marble, some horses, double marble. That's a really nice sage's spot. Here's also double marble, horses and silk and jade. Also potentially a really nice sage's spot. Yeah, curious, Wetlander, what would you found here for Babylon?
If I were to go with Babylon, for sure it would have been hunters because, I mean, you got two camps, right? The question, I mean, the possibility could be since you have two pastures, you could go with something else. But like you said earlier, camps will give you more growth. So is it two or three camps?
There are three
Three,
camps.
right?
They're
Oh,
improving
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah. So this
yeah, for
this
sure.
feels like force for hunter. There's not really a good second hunter site. There's triple barley here, which is really nice. This is an amazing hunter site with or fur. Oh
Yeah.
my lord, the culture. Yeah, double some really nice, pretty juicy sites. And looks like the settler is following the leader, which is going to be good. Always good to settle after the leader. Presume we'll have another settler build here. We'll need to buy a little bit of food. Curious what family he will found here. I guess was Babylon. Your other choices are sages, artisans, and traders. So I'm curious to see which one will drop out. I presume traders, because there's no nets on this map because there's so little water. Another weird thing about Mountain Pass is that there are no rivers on Mountain Pass.
Oh, is that right? No rivers?
Correct, no rivers on this map. All right. And now we are in tight turn order, no longer simul, which is a little easier to cast. So let's take a look what's going on in Persia. Persia is doing a warrior as their second build. Interesting. And getting the settler going for the free city site because they have not moved their starting slinger. So interesting. I'm pretty sure that's a mistake. You definitely want to clear that first city site as soon as you can. So I guess a slight advantage fiddler, just because they're going to be up a site really quickly. And curious to see what Persia settles here. I would definitely settle one tile over at least, so you can get the triple barley in your borders. This feels like an amazing statesman site. Yeah, growth statesman is good. And a worker immediately to improve. And wow, that's a 4-turn worker. Why is that a 4-turn worker? Let's see.
Probably
Builder.
Oh, the builder,
Right.
right.
Yeah. Forgot how fast. Okay, 4-turn is actually slow for builder because it's not connected. It should be 3-turn. All right, back over to Babylon. All right, Babylon starting a settler as you would expect. And of course, the tactician handily clears out that site and is going to take a little bit of damage here. But of course, the barb is going to impale itself on the leader. And then the leader will stun it. So tactician is just so reliable, and then the city will be there. Another reason you like founding behind it is because you can heal your unit with the city. Like if he had founded here, the unit would have not been able to heal up. This one can. We'll be curious which way he goes. He has not actually scouted that site. Back over to Persia. He did assign a tactician here, which won't be enough to clear. So presumably he's going to do the safe clear with 2 units, but that does lose a little bit of tempo. And what third family would you pick in for Persia? I guess, in your opinion, clerics are dead, so I guess that leaves riders.
Yeah, there's no other options for me, for sure. Not sure how I feel about the builder for Persia. Persia has a lot of orders, and builder is a little bit of an overkill in my books anyway for Persia.
You think builder is overkill for Persia?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's just, again, the orders situation, right? Like you're saving a lot of orders with builder, but it doesn't look like Persia really needs it. For like multiplayer, I don't think I would go builder first for Persia.
I see. You like schemer, I presume, or tactician, or
Schemer for sure for extra science, and I mean, we just discussed it about this previous game. I think you're lag behind in science a lot if you take builder. and I'm not sure what exactly you're gaining. I mean, there's definitely faster pastures and whatnot camps, but I'm not sure if it's worth it.
Wonder-wise, there are pyramids, Jurwan Aqueduct, Great Stupa, Necropolis, Ishtar, Apadana, Mahavihara, the museum. So, and we also have Heliopolis. No Colosseum. I wonder if Colosseum is actually disabled on Mountain Pass. If not, it should be because there are no rivers, so it is impossible to build the Colosseum. I don't know if it actually is disabled, but yeah, should be. All right, so we have founded sages here on this double marble, and we'll be curious to see what Babylon's third family is. Presume artisans, because again, no nets anywhere.
Yeah, it has to be artisans, I guess.
Babylon going for the free worker after getting mill drill, and then I think researching divinations. A mill drill off of sages, which is a pretty good pull on turn
It's
7.
a very good pull, absolutely.
It's 160 science right away, so big advantage there. Babylon sages, pretty good tempo. And the Babylon order economy challenge is already there. Just 9 orders. And Persia already has 11 base. So that advantage is growing there already. And once they found riders, that'll be even bigger. All right, so Persia beginning to move. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, considering that Babylon had to found hunters in the capital, you don't really have a strong military family. So having discovered military drill will definitely help him push his training in each city, either through the barracks or barracks plus officers. And especially considering he's got double marble in the Sage City, those officers are going to be very quick. So if I were him, I would go for early barracks and early officers in them.
Yes, officers are pretty amazing specialists because they give you science and training, and you really want both of those early. Persia doing a good job scouting, getting those landmarks. That's this Iron Tribe event. They could get 110 iron, and they indeed, oh no, all the events are in Russian. They got 240 training, I think. All right, well, most of the UI is in English. So that's good. I guess some parts still remain in Russian, which is totally fine. I don't read Russian, sadly. Let's see here. So it's kind of a non-traditional start with that early warrior, but and he is kind of moving this slinger in with the tactician. I don't love this. I think he will be able to clear it just because the forest will keep him safe, but it will take a lot of damage doing so. All right, let's see what is up in Babylon. We got a settler coming out here. Babylon, of course, has that sweet 20% growth. So this is already 21 growth versus Persia 20 growth. So the builder, of course, I think got that some of that online. Interesting choice of a farm in Persia, especially with I think there's an unimproved game, right? Like,
yeah,
like we should not be. Oh, we didn't even settle in a way that we would grab the game. Oh, that's definitely They should have moved it slightly to. That's definitely a mistake. Yeah, so it looks like. Oh, I like the shrine here. So shrine in Abu, which is the one that is the Odeon adjacency. So you can put some Odeons here and get some extra civics. Yeah. And then healing up here, and then has he met the Thracians? He has not, so they're just out of orders, or just out of borders. Hasn't found this, I presume understands the city site is here because they can see the urban tile. Doesn't know about that one. And then the scout is just out of range of this one. Has found this one as well, so I'm expecting the tactician to move to the southeast next. All right, Persia has researched divination. And has so this is what you're talking about with builder science: 12-year labor force, 12-year amount of aristocracy. I think aristocracy is the pick I would pick here, just because it gets you centralization. But centralization gets you some science.
Yeah, I don't know, with so little science, any of those picks, in my opinion, takes way too long. And I mean, I'd be very scared to fall behind this badly.
Especially if you're facing Babylon, which is probably the strongest science nation in the game, thanks to sages and, of
Yeah,
course, their extra science per city. You can do a comparison of science. Babylon is already at 21.5 science, and that is with the tactician leader. Persia's at 13, so we almost have doubled science here. Yeah, so Persia's 2 cities are 0.9, and then Babylon's are almost
like
yeah,
double and triple.
yeah. So this might be a short game.
Yeah,
We'll
this is
see.
also something I think to consider when you're picking a second. What kind of nation, what kind of leader your opponent has picked, because that can matter a lot.
Yeah, you
Right?
won't see the leader until you meet them, but you will see the nation.
All right, you can see the leader, right?
Yeah.
So at least the nation, even Babylon, the fact that he has Babylon means it's going to be extra science, like you said.
Yep.
So
Free worker from Babylon. I'm not too keen of the free worker, but some people love it. And they got stone cutting, which is pretty reasonable, especially with these nice mountain sites here. Other options were ironworking, compo, and aristocracy. So yeah, I think stone cutting is probably the right call because you do want to get those quarries down. Wonder-wise, Jerwan might be a really nice one, especially if you can somehow drag that over here, or even in Jerwan is really nice in a sage's site. So because of course you get extra science for each of the farmers. If you can place it somewhere where you get 5 farmers, I don't really see any great 5 farmer spots here for Jerwan. But if you somehow get this marbling borders, you can plop Jerwan here, maybe with some colony buys. I don't know. All right, back over to Persia. It's like clearing from a distance here, promoting while in range with Eagle Eye. Definitely don't love this. You don't want to promote while you're fighting. You want to promote before fighting, unless it's, of course, the free one. So yeah, some interesting tactical plays, and hopefully the players will, if they watch this VOD, will be take it as a constructive feedback. In general, yeah, you want to use your starting unit to go clear a nearby site quickly before turn 5, and then keep pumping out settlers, because Persia's going to fall behind in cities very quickly here. And then, yeah, you'll want to attack the city site, because this will upgrade in 6 years. And of course, by the time they kill this, it won't matter, but you won't have enough tempo to kill it if you kill this first, right? This will take 2 orders, 2 turns, then you'll have 3 years left to kill the next one, and you'll do 8 damage a turn, so it'll come in really hot. Some scouting around going over here. And of course, getting the harvestable resource, which is really good as Persia. It's a pretty easy ambition to fulfill. There's also the cognomen, the new cognomens with Empires of the Indus. So you can get the cognomen from, I think it's called Resourceful. Resourceful is plus 50 for harvesting, basically, 17 times. If you harvest 17 times, you get 50 legitimacy, which is very accessible. Right.
I wonder how many turns does it take for the Persian capital to get to developing culture. So he's researching.
33 right now.
Yeah, so he's going to get the
Aristocracy. Yeah, centralization.
in like 12 turns, right? And then he's going to get only like so much science.
2 science, yeah.
Even less, because it's probably going to be some deductions because of the unhappiness, right? So
with discontent, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would usually go for aristocracy when you have developing in your capital.
Yeah. Were there any cultural resources you could have harvested? That's really nice in Persia. Sadly, no. I guess the fur, if you had gotten over to the fur early and harvested it before the state city was founded, then he could have tried to pump that fur, but it's kind of ways away. No force march here. I guess he's out of orders, and he's going to keep clearing this site. Love that. He's attacking the camp and then letting the melee just hit itself. Tactician's actually really nice for that. Just such a, I think probably one of the easier first leaders to clear on. And again, for MP, you don't want to attack into a tactician because they can stun any small group engagement. And they do give you science and discipline, so smooth out your economy and get you some early science. All right, Persia continuing to slowly clear this site. This warrior is now moving up. We'll see, and they are starting a settler good. They have, they haven't cleared a site yet, so that is going to be a challenge here for Persia. 6 out of 10 harvests, which is pretty good. Babylon has the 6 technology ambition, which is relatively straightforward to fulfill. I always like it because it's just something you do automatically. As long as you don't try to beeline some super late game tech, you should be fine. No additional traits, although the Persian or the tactician will level up next turn, probably after killing this unit. And
Yep.
oh wow, this settler is going forward, and this looks like it's going to be a hunter site. Oh,
Yeah,
the settler's passing there, so I guess we're just going to deal with -2 discontent, which is a big deal. But yeah, this could be a hunter, and this actually could be a military production site, because this, with 4 fur, this thing is going to get to strong super fast, and it's pretty near the front lines, so you can pump out Cimmerian archers from here pretty quickly. So I like that thinking from Babylon. Purple Moose in the chat says, Builder does feel like a pick that is better the larger the map. Going wide, you get a new city online much faster, and it gives you time to catch up in science. Yeah, that could be true. I think the challenge, I think, is since they adjusted the tech costs, it's actually that makes early tech more important because you don't get through the early techs as quickly, which means you don't snowball your science as quickly. So it makes the wisdom leaders, I think, more essential. I know I played Builder in my first game, and I was really feeling being behind on science for a long time. And it took a long time to catch up. So I think, yeah, my read right now is like you really want a science leader, whether it's a scholar, a schemer, or a tactician. Going to be hard to justify anything else, I think, at least from my perspective. With my builder start, I didn't pass on cumulative science until turn 55, which is really late. Right, back over to Babylon. He has the choice of an upgrade. He's got Brave, Fierce, Heckler, and Steadfast, and he went for Fierce. Seems reasonable. Barbs are not really a big challenge, so I don't know that I would pick Steadfast on a leader. And Fierce is very useful. There's lots of infantry units, and also works against all the Barbs who have infantry units as well. And indeed, he does go Hunters here with his 4th site. So this Fables of Aesop, which is 90 civics for, I guess, 20 culture in every city. Losing some discipline but becoming a poet, or pissing off the Babylonian pagans and getting some discipline, and they opted for becoming a poet. So
yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah, two charisma is pretty good. I do like discipline stacking personally, though, just because it smooths out your economy quite a bit. Though I'm not usually used to having my leader as a general personally. I like governor leaders early.
I don't think he needs more.
He's fine on money. Yeah. All right. It looks like he will be able to clear this site in time. Thanks to that warrior showing up, and we got a settler there and a double settler here as well. So a settler in 3 and a settler in 5. So curious what the next site is, and he's got 2 more harvests to go. It becomes strict, and yeah, he's the governor over there. And yeah, this is, I guess, one of the differences with military leaders. You do get a lot more XP on your leader early. Only 48 out of 100 for the builder gov. Of course, the tactician was already leveled up.
The only catch is, I guess, if you have, say, a schemer on your unit as a general, once it
doesn't really help
upgrades,
you.
yeah, once it upgrades, I think you're going to get 3 out of 4 promotions that will be military, as opposed to, like, you kind of, I guess, want the some sort of like economy related upgrade on your leader,
especially early on, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, you're not going to be fighting your opponent on turn 10 or 20. You might be fighting them on turn 30 or turn 10. I guess turn 20 if they're close. But like, generally, yeah, cities are just too hard to take with 4 strength units. And this map is pretty wide. The distance between tiles, between caps, is pretty good. Looks like Persia's doubling back a little bit here. Yeah, Babylon is building another settler in the cap. has built this shrine here to get some more culture in the cap as well. Not free workers doing work. Presume we're going to see a quarry in next turn here. Worker coming up here and another slinger coming up here. I like this a lot. And then he's scouting. Hopefully he'll find the Thracians here soon. And yeah, should be up to 5 cities in maybe 7 turns or so. Oh, and starting a barracks. Love this. That early mill drill. Already getting a barracks down in Babylon. So didn't opt to wait for stone cutting, just going to go for the barracks. Lots of money, so you can buy stone for days. And somehow that scout just didn't meet the Thracians. He checked up there and didn't realize there's just 2 city sites hiding up there. You can see the outline of the fog. All right. Nice job clearing that city site from Persia. And yeah, he can get stone cutting here. Or no, he didn't get stone cutting. He started div, right? So he doesn't have stone cutting. Ugh. That's always the worst when you put your unit there. You're like, I would like to start a quarry. And then you're like, oh, I don't have stone cutting. I can't start a quarry. Yeah, 13 science. That's very painful.
It is. It is.
25 in Babylon already. So
yeah,
that's going to become a problem. And yes, Curtis Nelson, that is correct. No rivers on this map. So yes, we're going to see good roading. So labor force is going to be important. Is there even an arid tile? I guess there's some over here for pyramids. So there is a Heliopolis, but I don't see an arid tile anywhere near the capital. I guess you could maybe buy borders here. All right, back over to Babylon. Stone cutting is discovered. Curious if we will see stone boost. Oh, Persia's building the Jerwan aqueduct. I missed that. Last turn, oh, they just decided to build it right in the cap and the hunter site. It'll be a 3-farm Jerwan on a hunter city.
Not sure if it's worth it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's 3 science. So I don't know that I would do a 3-farm Jerwan. But yeah, they do have that builder, so they could stack a worker on top of it. And yeah, Babylon has met the Thracians and declared war. So they have found the Thracians, I guess, down here. Yeah, the other nice thing about Tactician is you can get a little bit more vision off your cities. So notice just how much more map vision Babylon has. Like they see a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think given what I've seen in this first 15 turns, I'm already like expecting Babylon to prevail, but you never know how this match will go. Yeah, this is a interesting Jerwan placement, but he didn't really have any better options in this city.
And I think he spent quite a bit of gold.
Yes, his entire gold stockpile, because he, of course, can't buy stone, and Jerwan is pretty expensive. Jerwan is also a source of fresh water, so you can make this into baths. Although there's some, I guess they can't build an Arctic around tundra, so Forming a nation, crap, it's in Greece, or it's in Russian, so didn't read that out in time. Yeah. So has Persia met the Thracians? Yes, and they have truce with the Thracians. So curious to see where they will clear next. 11 orders. So no shortage of orders for Persia. Starting a flatland mine. I guess there really aren't very many hills. And he doesn't have stone cutting, so it's really farms and mines. That's all he can build at the moment. All right, looks like they're moving down to the south, presumably to go deal with the Thracians. I personally like clearing... I like clearing tribes first if I can, just because it stops raids, and you get usually better events for clearing tribes. Although it can be a little awkward if you have to back clear. So, yeah.
So another settler is ready, so we're going to see the artisans.
Presumably artisans on the Free City site is what I would expect. And would love to see a force march to just get that down early, but then again, he is Babylon, so his order economy is really bad. So maybe he doesn't want to use the force march. And Sino points out that denying Jerwan versus Babylon, uh, especially sages, is good. But I don't know that. I guess that is 10 science you've denied your opponent. So out of the developing wonders, unless you can find a spot for the pyramids, which I don't think anyone has any arid in their borders. One, if you're going to build a wonder, I guess it's a good one. Garrison coming up for Babylon as well, which means we have exploration enacted. Still no laws in Persia. Persia showing stronger because they have that warrior. The players have not yet met, of course. So, all right. Resume. Okay, we've got our first settler out, or our next settler out. Presume, yeah, scout is clearing. Where are these warriors and slingers going to go? What's going to get cleared next? Resume these two sites.
Yeah, probably this site in the south.
Starting a rancher in the capital. Presume we're going to go for Judaism. Just two ranchers, so wonder if presume the statesman city will continue making settlers, because you definitely need more settlers. And finish that harvest ambition. Now to promote units 5 times. Oh, we've changed our mind. We're going to get another slinger out of the capital. This is what I don't love about only having one military family. So like would really like to see riders as to get that extra military family. Because your capital generally, early game, you just wanted to spam settlers, assuming there's not a better growth option. Right now there's not in this map. So, all right. Babylon continuing to chew through the techs, and of course that stone boost does count for a tech discovered. We've got ironworking, polis, aristocracy, and compo. Curious your take, Wetlander, what you would take here and why?
I mean, probably ironworking, but I mean, aristocracy is not a mistake. He should have. He's not going to have enough civics to activate the law once he finishes. So, but it's going to be pretty close, like 100 civics away. So it's not. Yeah, aristocracy is fine, I guess. Maybe ironworking, keeping the labor force in mind, is also an option. Depends what his game plan is. Is he trying to push early, or he's trying to just develop?
We do see
Extra science is
artisans.
always good. I mean, considering that Persia went with Builder, that's legitimate gameplay. If a Babylonian player has noticed that, he might just try to leverage as much science as possible and have triple as much science by turn 50 or something.
Yeah, he doesn't know Persia's leader yet because he hasn't met Persia.
They haven't met yet? Oh, okay.
They have not met yet. But yeah, aristocracy I think is very defensible. I would say though, like labor force is really nice, but of course getting aristocracy will get you labor force faster.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, I think the only other case for labor force is the roads will save you a lot of orders, and getting aristocracy later means you'll get border boost later, which means you'll get more tiles in your border boost because you theoretically have more cities down. But yeah. We're moving the settler over here and moving this settler over here. So yeah, but still 13 science. I don't think Persia's improved their science at all. Babylon is starting that apprentice acolyte in the capital. They did go artisans here with that free worker, so this site will culture up pretty quickly. I never really know what to do with a non-capital artisan because I don't really want to go super tall in another city.
Why not?
I mean, I guess I can, but like...
That's the beauty of artisans. It's basically your second capital.
I see. Would you go capital artisan, or do you feel they're not great for that?
Depends on the nation. Like Carthage with artisan capital is super strong. Absolutely, especially if you're not expecting to have any locations for traders.
Yeah.
right? So you go, like as a Carthage, you definitely want riders as your military family, so that goes there, without question. If you go, you must take states, so that's your second family, and then for the third family, it's either traders or artisans. So if you take artisans, like the way I look at it, that means I'm getting rid of traders. So the only way I would do that, even after traders nerf, is when artisans, when the map doesn't have any nets. So um, that would be a choice
So this
for the
map does not
capital.
have any nets. No, Mountain Pass
Yeah.
has no nets. So
So you could, for example, if we had a slightly different map, you could consider Carthage with artisan capital. It's very strong. Artisans are very strong, in my opinion.
yeah, I always miss trader workers for roading. They're so nice. So right,
If
looks
you
like
take them,
we'll.
if you take them as a second city, as your site seed, it's basically your second capital. It's going to develop fast. It's a lot of culture. All the buildings are up in like 2, 3 turns.
Yeah.
You can start training the specialists very fast. I've had tons of games where artisan site seat would develop faster eventually than the capital itself.
Yeah. No, they're insanely fast. So just treat it like a second science city, I guess, or like, well, what do you do? Is it a military city or just does everything?
It does everything. Like I told you before, artisans is arguably my favorite family, subjectively as well as objectively. I don't know. They're just very good in my opinion. Very good.
Hmm. The seed is definitely very strong. I don't know about the additional cities though, because they don't really do anything apart from the
Yeah,
culture and
yeah.
like.
As with everything else, right? Additional cities are always weaker because they
Yeah,
lack the main bonus and everything. But with artisans, you have a lot of culture. So that means the city will reach
much
developing culture
faster.
much
Yeah.
faster. So you can boost everything much faster. You can build more advanced buildings faster. It's really really good.
Oh, this is so awkward for Babylon. I wonder if he can. No, he can't force march. Doesn't have the order. Well, he could. Nor no. No, the terrain's too rough. Because the problem here is this site is going to upgrade into an outpost. So what that means is next turn it will move this injured unit out and then replace it with a higher strength unit at full health, which really sucks. And I don't think stun prevents that from happening. So that's really awkward. You'll still be able to clear it fine. This tactician is doing work. This is actually Babylon's second military unit right here. All the sites so far have been cleared by tacticians. Tacticians are very good at solo clearing. They're just very safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stun
And
is. Go ahead.
Babylon has been getting lucky with secondary units at these sites. He's getting melee units, so which lose their health, right? Hitting
Yes.
into the
Yeah. Yeah.
tactician.
Yeah.
It's the second time he gets it, so it's really, really high value.
Yeah.
This
They
tactician.
suicide themselves on the tactician.
Yeah, just hit the ranged.
Ooh, protection edicts, which is one of the nice projects, or I guess permanent effects. 10% civics, which is amazing in a state site, in a state seat.
Yeah.
And we did see riders coming down here for Persia, their third city. I really like riders as second city just to get that second site, that second scout to go find landmarks, get vision of the site, and set stages and states as third.
Yeah, extra 2 training also helps you build a second military unit faster, right? So
Yes, and also because they start connected, they can build a worker faster too as well. But yeah, the
yeah.
2 training gives you a six turn second military unit. Champions, of course, are a 4-turn military unit, which is amazing. Yeah.
I think his idea was, I'm not sure if he meant it or not, but his idea was to build a second military unit from the capital, right, which has
Mhm.
+2 training, and then because of that, he delayed the riders and he placed states second. So he still ended up with 2 military units, but just switched a little bit.
Slower. Yeah. And Sano points out he did found Ryder on a triple fur site or a quadruple fur site, which is a
Yeah,
little painful, but he didn't really have anywhere
it is.
else. So, and the players have now, or they have not yet met, but should soon. presumably clear this. This will also upgrade awkwardly. So that will be moved out. Let's toggle back over to Babylon. So as we see, the 4 strength skirmisher showed up here. And then, yeah, so he is doing the right thing here and continuing to stun this site. The rule, I finally dug into this, is if he had killed one of these units, this 10 would go down to 8 because it is 4/5. When you kill a unit, if the count is, all right, we're going to see, yeah, so it went down to 8. So when you kill a unit, the timer goes down by 4/5, rounding down, as long as it's above 4. It won't accelerate beyond 4. Because I've always wondered, like, what happens? Like, the camps spawn faster. It's a little interesting mechanic that a little counterintuitive. All right, Persia has researched aristocracy, and they have enough civics, thanks to states, to enact the law and get some science going, which is going to be amazing. Awkwardly, they drew border boost immediately. I guess there was a reshuffle, and presume we're, I don't know. What would you take here? Stone cutting, administration, food boost? Probably not, because you got 700 food, and border boost.
Stone for sure.
Stone, just say goodbye to the border boost.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, the way he settled the capital was probably a mistake. Obviously, he left out 2 camps. So, but I mean, taking the border boost is definitely a waste, considering how little science he has. So he kind of wants more tech researched. So probably would go for stone. And in my games, I'm not necessarily always taking border boost. It's not a compulsory tech for me. Depends on the game plan. Obviously, a lot of factors play in, but it's not always. Even if I have a lot of science, I don't always take it.
Yeah, you can always have other ways of expanding borders unless there's something really amazing. Like, for example, this border boost gets you, I guess, some fur and horses, which, I don't know. We'll see what he picks. I tend to like border boost a lot, but it's definitely easy to fall into the trap of trying to optimize your border boost and then juggling text to like get a really good border boost, and then you realize you've wasted a lot of tempo. So I think another way to think about it is like you can just get colonies later and do what border boost does for some money and some orders. So,
yeah.
And early science is precious because it gets your snowball rolling, and unless it's really unlocking some really good terrain or like saving you a lot of orders or something for that, then I don't know that I would go to border boost. I don't know. It's tough, especially as Carthage, because you just get border boost so early, so it's like a 2 or 3 city border boost at most. And yeah, I think probably should do a better job of dropping it, because bonus cards do take science, and stone boost is also super tempting.
You went for the border boost, yeah.
You went for the border boost, yeah. Stone boost is tempting, civics boost is tempting, and goods boost, I think, is the one that I also just like. Those 4, border, stone, goods, and civics are the 4 that I almost always take. This is scary. This warrior is potentially about to die. It's been being hit on this marble. Could have been in a forest all this time. So yeah, some tactical misplays here. Definitely want to be in forests if you can against ranged units. And yeah, I guess this unit moved out of the camp, and yeah.
He also has, almost 900 science. I mean, training next turn. So it probably was worth putting some general on the warrior. He does have one. Yeah,
it's a zealot available.
Yeah, 13%. Yeah.
Were you able to load in the game? Can you actually see the game now? So
no, I'm watching the stream and.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I guess you'll clear this in a couple turns. Yes, I agree, Sino. Going for border boost when you are at 14 science probably is pretty greedy, especially since you only really have 3 or 4 cities. So it's not a huge border boost, but it is easy to be enraptured. And also he's got all that training and has this promote units ambition and hasn't promoted anything either. So that's another thing to do. You do want to fulfill those ambitions as quickly as you can. He did a good job with the harvest one. Slinger, and we are getting that Jerwan up soon. And yeah, they're on a slow timer. All right. Babylon, of course, has met Persia and has some eyes here. So no one's declared war on anyone. Babylon might do some really nasty tactician stuff, right? They're not that far away from each other at the moment. There's this Thracian site in between, but Babylon could settle this. And what is Persia going to do? Need to pause for 5 minutes next turn. Okay. Can do a stat review. Meanwhile, in Babylon, pretty good economic expansion. We do get this civic shrine in the state site to get that marble. We did build a slinger here. And yeah, we're getting some mines on that hill, balancing out the economy, getting a second barracks up here. Already have an apprentice acolyte in the capital, which means we might be getting Zoro soon. Wonder if we'll presume we'll start one in the Sage's site. I actually really like slamming down shrines in the artisan seat, because they're so fast. So, and aristocracy will have just enough civics to enact centralization, furthering their science lead. And looks like we're sending this slinger over here to clear this site. I don't think I would send a single slinger into this site. That is not going to end well. Even with the slinger having warden. There's just a lot of units there. It's going to be painful.
Yeah, probably not enough.
And we are getting the acolyte, so it looks like Babylon will claim Zoro. Persia thought about that rancher and then changed their mind. So yeah, so we did clear this. And ooh, we are a tactician, which means we can move in the forest. So we might see an interesting ambush here, because okay, nobody is Persia's gonna pause here, but like in theory, Babylon could stealth through all this forest and just snipe Persia's military units. Right? You kill one with one slinger, and then you stun the other slinger, and then Persia has no more military units. They will get some warriors down here, but it's going to take some time. We do have that slinger, right? So Persia's actually similar. Rancher up here, so we're going to try to get Judaism up. Which rancher is this? Okay, it's this rancher. So he's going to use the rancher to grab the camps that he should have grabbed with the initial positioning. Oh, it's the favored son. Oh, this is such a rough event. This is such a rough event. So he has the choice of replacing his existing 39-year-old cunning builder with this rising star, righteous, power-hungry builder with way better stats because rising star. But that's early succession on turn 22, which is painful. The other option is +2 rebels in all your state cities. Fortunately, you only have one. And then full rebellions. They might spawn more. I don't know. What would you take? This is a really rough event. This is one of the BTT events.
Yeah, it would have to be the switching the leader.
Switching the leader, you just can't deal with the rebels this early. Too much tempo loss.
Yeah, it's going to be a pain, especially well, he doesn't know that, I guess, that the tactician is coming through the forests. But like if he chooses the rebels, like he's going to just lose the game, I think, with rebels.
Yeah, just the wrong timing for the rebels. You lose your army, and then you get tacticianed. But yeah, that's just an awkward transition, right? Because he's going to lose quite a bit of legitimacy, although he did get to resourceful.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It will help his science, though Rising Star, I have a feeling like tends to like go away pretty quickly after. Maybe it goes away in your 50s or so. So I don't know. You can maintain it as a leader for a little bit. Power hungry, I think, goes away, right? Once you become leader. I don't know. I really like. I guess the way to avoid events like this is never let your rising stars upgrade. So like kick them out of being a general or a governor. Keep an eye on their XP. I think there's a way to like pin them, right? You can add this character to the notable list, and then I think it shows up on your court view. I don't remember exactly. Scientific in chat says transition here is good, that it would be good to get the new leader. Yeah, this guy's kind of been underwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. It's the only option, I think.
Yeah, you can't deal with the rebels this early. They don't have any military units anywhere near there. Yeah, unfortunately, Babylon might be coming here. And not backing this up, but even those two slingers can wreak some havoc. This slinger is not going to be able to clear that, but yeah. Let's take a look at some graphs. Military score, equal. Orders, Persia's got a pretty big advantage, over 70 orders aggregate. Science, Babylon's got a huge advantage, almost doubling, 457 to 289. Stat-wise, Persia's a little richer. Specialists, just one specialist, an apprentice acolyte. Yeah, pretty equal so far. 5 techs versus 2, which is a huge difference. And 10 improvements for both players. Persia has just rural improvements, farm, mine, and pasture and camp, where Babylon has a lot more urban improvements, a barracks, a garrison, and 3 shrines. And then worker turns 41 for Babylon versus 29 for Persia. I am curious how workers' turns is actually calculated. Like, is it turns that a worker is working and not like workers probably moving around? Okay. Do forts count as workers' turns? And then wood, no one has any wood. Stone, yeah. And then iron, Persia's getting some iron. And food, Persia has an advantage in that as well. Money, both players kind of similar. Training, pretty similar. That will change as Babylon gets those racks up. And then yeah, this very late border boost, and I think this is the map. I think all the maps so far are too small to really be able to safely go builder. Just because you fall behind in science and you don't have the buffer to catch up in science. All right, if you can survive to turn 60, then you can use your superior builder tempo to catch up in science. But if you're getting pressured on turn 25 or 30 or 40, you're probably going to be fighting with science deficit, which can be really challenging. And also just like your economy, like you just don't like. Persia would love to build some quarries, but they don't have stone cutting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, hopefully Persia will be back here. Just a 5-minute break here. Yeah, that's a rough event. No one to tutor. Families are reasonably happy. I guess cunning is doing a little bit of work, but it's just also early in the game. All right. So I'm curious, do you think Babylon is going to go in and attack?
I was thinking about the same. I mean, he sees the city about to be settled with his scout. I don't know.
This is Babylon's vision, right? They don't see the settler. They just see.
He saw, I guess, the camp being cleared, or no, not really.
He sees
saw
an
the
injured.
Units losing.
He doesn't see the units. He doesn't have vision of the units yet. The scout, because this is fog.
See that warrior?
This is still fog, so he hasn't cleared that fog. So he does not have vision right now, because he hasn't cleared this fog.
I wonder if that warrior was ever out of the fog, so he can see.
It might have been, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, but I think you're correct that he saw the warrior before the warrior moved in. Maybe, but he can potentially move over and find it very quickly. If you can get the units before the city site is cleared, which it looks like he will do, he can definitely, like, this can, I mean, he can just walk through the forest invisible, which is,
I think that would be
that's just the death blow, right? Like you win the game basically there, right? So
he's not risking anything. Like his tactician is going to be hidden in the forest all the way. Tactician is very hard to kill. There's very few units. He has a scout right next to the site, so he can scout everything and see, every single unit that Persia has, and then just strike. Absolutely.
Curious to see what this warrior is going to do. Actually, the only safe thing for the warrior to do is to back off, right? Because if it attacks here, will it take It will take melee damage attacking a ranged unit, or is that just for melee versus melee? Just melee versus melee, right?
Yeah. It's just still very dangerous.
It's very dangerous. You're on 2 hit points.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, you're on 2 hit points. This deals 4. This deals 4. And there's 15. This is, the terrain's kind of shitty, so you're probably not going to be able to force march. And even if you did, you'd only be able to do 4. So, yes. Okay, yeah, he's retreating to heal. That's the safe play. Don't forget to unpause timer. So it looks like the players forgot, which is no worries. But yeah, I also don't like the settler coming in here because it's just going to get chip damage. And that means the city will be even more hurt. We are starting this fur for some culture, which is always nice. Yeah, this game can potentially get very disastrous for Persia. Aristocracy discovered in Babylon, and as you foresaw, they have just enough civics. And presumably see centralization and get over 30 science on turn 22. I got this. Oh, this is a really fun event. Lumber mill, way before you can get lumber mill. 40 science, or a worker. What do you like in this event, in this situation?
Probably lumber mill.
He went for the 40 science, and yeah, lumber mill is actually really nice, especially as Babylon, because you're not going to get forestry for a while, and having even +5 that adds up very quickly. All right, let's see what Babylon does. He's going to move the scout to see what's going on in here. Is he going to just charge blindly forward? Is he going to enact centralization? Just 8 orders, so definitely behind on orders. Family opinion is okay-ish, nothing amazing. And he doesn't have to attack right now, but his units are here. Could also go back. Oh, he's trying to clear this camp. This is this feels like it's not going to end well. He's getting a slinger out of this capital. Settler out of the artisan site. He's out of orders and did not move any of these units. So I guess we will wait until next turn to see if there's a decision. That is buying Persia some time. Persia is, of course, pulling down this slinger. And yeah, that settler sadly took some damage. He took the rebels. So this is going to be interesting. He did not choose to swap his leader and opted for rebels. So the statesmen are currently minus 248 because of that full rebellion. And he doesn't really have any units in range to deal with these rebels, so they might kill this worker, which is going to be really painful.
It's a lot of resources lost. I mean, working in itself. And
yeah, I think he just had to take the leader swap there. He just can't deal with 2 rebels back here. I mean, it'd be a different story if it had like 3 military units here waiting for them.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And can't quite clear the site. But this is going to be a really nice city. Presume he will go statesman here with the double marble, I presume? I don't know. I would go statesman here. What would you do?
Yeah, for sure. States.
Yeah. And it'll be settled before the border boost, which is also really nice. But yeah, this is going to be a problem. This worker's dead. Live and let die. This is a trap event. If you don't have 2 wisdom, you definitely do not want to take the second option, because I think she like kills the person off or something. I don't remember exactly. All right. Well, maybe this warrior can go help deal with the. Yeah, but these rebels are going to kill this worker. The Jerwan is done. So it's getting 1 more science thanks to that Jerwan. And yeah, Babylon is not going to have a good time here. This unit cannot solo take it. Of course, he's a tactician, so he can just stay stealthed. Yeah, Babylon just feeling the order economy issues. He is getting sovereignty here. Doesn't have Navi or ironworking or labor force, so that's going to be painful. feel like you really want to get an early navigation on Babylon because you
Yeah,
need
for
the
sure.
orders so badly. I also really like
That
scheme around Babylon because it solves your biggest problem,
yeah,
orders.
that's another reason I was thinking that iron working into labor force would be a better choice because then at least you have a chance of landing the navigation for orders.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fast anyway. Like it's 3 techs away, so
Yep.
yeah, you'll want to get it as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's no scout moves here, and we're out of orders. So this is, I think, this happens a lot when I play Babylon. You kind of just stall out. You just do not have orders um, to do anything. So he's just going to stall out. And like this, okay, he did realize this was suicidal and has moved this unit back. So will not be able to clear the site. I think this is also one of the challenges in the early game. You don't really want to try clearing 2 sites at once. Like imagine if these 2 units were with this unit, easily clear this camp, no problem. Instead, we moved out, took an attack, moved back. Just wasting orders. Orders you don't really have. Of course, these units having to double back is also going to be a problem. That's why I like kind of like a zigzaggy windshield wiper way of clearing. Like, I never want to backtrack while clearing.
I'm not sure for how long Babylon has been standing there with his leader and the second slinger. It feels like it's been a couple of turns. He could have moved the slinger with the tactician northwest towards that camp and just
Yep.
leave this slinger in the site if he's concerned. He has a scout, so if somebody tries to take the site, like military units wise, he would see that. If the scout tries to do that, you have a slinger sitting there. So.
Yeah, nice move here from Persia. He is protecting the worker. Um, but now the warrior is at risk of dying. So, and getting a rancher here. Um, yeah, hopefully we'll pull these units north, but it's really, really awkward terrain. Oh no, he harvested silver. This is the trap event for harvesting silver. You either take a 2 legitimacy penalty, or you lose your scout and become strict. So, since you probably don't want to lose your scout, you just take the 2 legitimacy pillar. The rule of thumb is basically never harvest silver after turn 10. So, just not worth it. It's kind of a trap event. All right. Yeah, curious to see what Babylon will take. As iron sharpens iron. I always like the stat boost here. That's always nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, these units have been stuck here.
I think he
Babylon.
moved. I think he moved his leader from that slinger.
Yes, he
Um,
moved his leader back here. So he reassigned
yeah,
his leader right here. So I don't know that he'll be able to clear the site with the leader here, honestly.
should be
Like,
fine
he's
if he
bringing up the
stays in the
second slinger.
forest.
He's bringing the second slinger. He'll be fine. You think in the forest he could just stun? I guess he can stun.
I think so. I think he stunned
Stun the melee
no, he stunned the ranged.
and let the
You let
melee kill
the
itself. So
yeah.
yeah, well, it should be easy with the second slinger here. So well, you're not going to die because you can always go invis. So
Yeah, just gotta carefully watch out for the incoming damage. You'll be fine.
yeah, I think part of the challenge is he doesn't know about. He doesn't have vision because he hasn't busted. Okay, now he's busted the fog. So all right. So Persia doesn't even know how in danger they were. They are about to lose this warrior though. So if these barbs decide to target the warrior, they will die. Don't know that the barbs will. I think it's just random what they target. Continue to harvest. healing. Looks like he's holding off the rebellion. 2 more years of full rebellion and they get back to normal. Fortunately, hasn't had any rebels spawn. The melee doesn't kill itself. A melee unit attacking a tactician takes retaliation damage, counterattack damage. They won't kill themselves doing it, but they will bring themselves down to 1 hit point, making it pretty easy to kill them. So it's a way to get tempo, assuming you don't have your tactician fall over dead. So what Persia does here. You are going to get that border boost. This is an interesting choice to put hunters here, given there are no hunter resources. And we win riders here and hunters here.
Yeah.
I also like, if I do have hunters, I like putting hunters on what I would think are going to be frontline cities, because Sentinel obviously works in any territory, but if you have hunters units fighting in hunter territory,
10%, yeah.
you get that 10%. So now you have 30% with Sentinel, and if your hunters are friendly, that's another 10%. That's 40%. It becomes really, really, really hard to attack into that. All right. Zoro is claimed by Babylon. Turn 25 Zoro. And yeah, melee even attacking the slinger. All right, so, and of course they can just move in the forest. So good. Getting another slinger out of the capital. No governor in the cap. No particularly great options for governor.
No, he has amazing options. He has a judge.
A judge.
He can boost at least 1 specialist.
Yeah, he could buy the Barrett. He could buy both apprentice officers. You're right.
Like, I mean, he doesn't have enough gold to go for like a wonder, so I would absolutely like start boosting the officers.
Yeah. Good call. All right, Persia has gotten border boost, and now has the choice of a 10-year labor force, a 10-year mill drill, a 15-year spoke wheel, or a 24-year monasticism. I think the correct call here is labor force.
Yeah,
maybe?
the builder. That's what I was.
I don't know. Mill drill, maybe, actually? I don't know. What would you take here? Definitely not spoke wheel, definitely not monasticism.
Probably mill drill, yeah. I mean,
mill drill gets you science, right? And that's what you need.
Yeah.
Although not having roads on this map is painful, but yeah. He's going for labor force. Yeah, I think you need the science, though, for mill drill, especially with the builder, right? You can get those racks down and get the specialists out. All right. He lost a warrior. So the warrior got killed. That's painful.
He may lose the worker as well.
Yes, if he does not move the worker into the city, he will lose the worker. 1 more year of full rebellion. So fortunately did not get any rebel spawn, which is pretty good. I don't know what the spawn chance is. Do you know? Is it like...
Oh, not sure. I don't usually pay attention to those.
Or I guess it's 10%, right? When you're in full rebellion, or 20% angry. Yeah. So, per city. So I just know whenever I take slums and I have that 5% chance for them to spawn, they spawn like 4 times. They want.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I would like to see some promos from Persia. You've got the training, and you need a couple more promos, but probably need to move the worker into the city. Should be able to clean this up, but yeah. All right, worker into the city, healed up. Warriors going to the city as well, and chipping away. And then hopefully we'll move some of these military units before the time expires. Looks like it, yep. All right. All right, so Persia is on 4 cities to 4 cities, and also enacted a law, which I guess was centralization. What was Persia's law? Vassalage. Yeah. Vassalage.
Oh, yeah, that's not necessarily.
That's not a great choice this early. You don't need vassalage this early. You want to go centralization early for the science, and then vassalage, I don't know, sometime after turn 50 when centralization is not 5 or 10% of your science.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a drop in the bucket, not most of the bucket. So, all right, sovereignty. It's kind of an early sovereignty, just because constitution ain't going to do much for you right now. I always do like how you can preview how much science you'll get off Constitution just by hovering over the law. So if you get it this early, I might even go training into Constitution later, because one science, well, even then, one science is like a 4 or 5% science lift, and you're going to get more urban specialists. So I don't know. All right, we are clearing this. He did what you thought, what you suggested, stunning the ranged, and going to get this retail damage. So Brack, you will see here, this warrior will attack this tactician and will take 8 damage next turn, just by attacking, which is really powerful. And the retail damage is what the unit would have done to that unit. So, but I don't think it can crit or stun.
No, it can't.
Back to Persia. All right, the statesmen are out of their full rebellion. And the barbarians or the rebels are pillaging improvements, so losing quite a lot of tempo here. Of course, I have to pull all these units back to deal with this, as opposed to clearing this site. He's doing a pretty good job of producing military units, though. Like, definitely not falling behind in making military units, but I guess a little bit of, I don't know. It feels a little unorthodox from Persia. Babylon's play, it feels a little more legible to me.
Yeah, I don't think he needs as many as well.
Now, you don't need that many. I think you need a good group of 3 to clear a site, right? At this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, my rule of thumb is 1 for the first site. You can sometimes get away with 1 for the second site, right? Skipping the free city site. Sometimes you'll need 2, depending on if you cleared the first one in time, to only have no spawn. And like if you have a good upgrade, or like a zealot, then you probably want 2 for the one after that, and then 3 for everyone after that, I think.
Yeah, I think if you have champions, I mean, it doesn't apply here, but yeah, it's even easier. So
yes, of course, champions or tacticians, or like a military leader, a zealot, pretty good as well. Hero, pretty good. Any of those can speed up your clearing as well. But just as a general rule of thumb, without any of them, you should be able to clear the first site with 1 unit, the second non-free city site with hopefully 1 unit, potentially 2. You might have to wait depending on what the spawn looks like. And then should be able to clear the third one, I think, with 2. And then after that, you really want 3. And you don't usually need more than 3, because if they should be able to kill any unit in any non-camp unit in 3 hits. So that's usually enough to like deal with. And I think they stop spawning units at like 3 on a camp. So the most you're going to face is 4. So then you should outclass them with tech and promos. I don't love the champion militia personally. I think it's pretty useless, but maybe I'm not using it right.
I wouldn't say it's useless in my experience. There's lots of things you can do. You can like, I mean, it depends on your position on the map. Sometimes you need that second unit, so instead of actually moving like a full-blown unit, you use the militia for that, or in certain cases you can use it to block the site if you're concerned that the scout will take it. It's not, I wouldn't call it, I mean, I don't consider it useless.
That's fair. And yeah, Babylon has kind of frozen these 2 units for like 10 turns, and it's as if they didn't exist. So it was smart, though, reassigning the general. So that I liked, because it saved himself a lot of orders moving that across the map.
He never moved his scout either, so he was never planning, I guess, to attack.
Yeah, we were hoping for some drama here. Encino points out that you think 3 units for a camp is enough, and then you run into a Thracian camp on hills. That is indeed terrifying once you start getting peltasts. Yeah, Thracians, I think, are the scariest tribal units, because generally there are lots of hills everywhere, and there's nothing early that can deal with peltasts. If you have horses, if you have horse units, you can of course get spears, and that makes short work. Danes are not that scary, because just there's not very many cold tiles. Numidians can be scary on Nomad. with Nomad. And then Club Thrower and Vandals also are pretty rough with Fierce, but Peltast is 25% on hills, so that's pretty scary. Nomad is pretty scary as well. So I guess first Libyans you can just build spears. First Peltasts, I don't know what you do. You're not going to have a ballista when you're clearing them, and you're not going to have macemen when you're clearing them. So you're just very sad. So you want to kill the Thracians before they start getting Peltasts. All right, the rebels are finally cleaned up in Persia. And we have not even built the third farm yet. So for the science.
Yeah. Another warrior being built.
All right, Babylon has gotten sovereignty and border boost. I think a 2-year border boost is totally reasonable. Other options were ironworking, polis, and monasticism. I can't, since he selected so quickly, I can't see what it would have grabbed. But I don't hate the border boost here. A 2-year border boost is a big difference versus a 5-year border boost. So
yeah.
And looks like he'll be able to easily clear this. And you can see this Marauder has basically gotten itself down to 3 hit points. And if it attacks next turn, it'll go down to 1 hit point. Some mines here. Settler is going to take this site. So it looks like Babylon will be able to lock in this side of the map. And this is very fortifiable, right? We've got a short gap here with hills, so you can put some forts here, get some onagers in them, and nothing is coming in.
Sion is suggesting that we should offer some tips for Persia. Yeah. I guess the Persian player, once you watch, I can't see properly his name, but sorry. But
Nobody. His name is Nobody.
Oh, Nobody. Okay. So definitely I would be more careful with the families, right? When you settle, so you want to be placing like a hunter's city in the location where you place the riders. You have a lot of camps, right? So it's like intrinsic bonus of the hunters. So you definitely want to have hunters there. Second city really should be a military city. So it's probably better to have settled riders in place of states. And then the first unit you usually want to build is the military unit to support your, clearing the map, and then a worker after that. So some things like that.
Yeah. And then you want to avoid zigzagging your units, right? So I think some of these units went back and forth. Obviously, you had rebels, which didn't help. But yeah. Yeah, I think the sort of rule of thumb is keep bumping settlers in your capital until you can build settlers faster somewhere else. Or you've cleared all the city sites. And then your first build, as Wetlander suggested, your second city should be a military city, so you can build a 6-unit military unit, and you just build that first. And then, yeah. Because, yeah, I think you also want, early I think we mentioned, like, you didn't move your starting slinger at all. So you could have easily come and cleared a site with that starting slinger, which would have helped quite a bit.
When you found your capital, you can move, or you don't have to move actually, you can just like mouse over your settler over the available city
yes, that's true as well.
And you could have grabbed, I think, those 2 camps immediately on settle without having to spend so many civics, 40 civics or even more, to
that's
buy
true.
that, to build that ranger, right?
Yep.
Especially when you settle especially when you settle hunters as a capital. So like that camp is worth a lot of growth, which would have sped up your settlers. I mean, it all kind of kicks in much faster.
Yes. Yeah. And the way you do that, you can move the settler. You can see the outline of what will found. Here, it doesn't really matter for Babylon, but sometimes you can grab an additional resource like you could have those camps. Vova suggests that Babylon should have bought orders to move this settler The other option to get another city down for border boost, I think that would be totally reasonable. You could also just toggle off border boost for a turn and put some science into ironworking and then get border and swap back to border boost. I like juggling like that for a turn just to get an extra city. I think that's very defensible. Does not look like Babylon's going to do that, but definitely that's a little optimization. All right, let's see. Persia. We did lose that warrior, but we did not lose the worker, which is good. Probably I would go for, I don't know. I would probably clear the back barb site just so that I don't have to deal with it later. And then I can concentrate all my forces on this Thracian site next, which will of course collide me with Babylon, but I don't know that. But yeah, I would love to clear this site out. And he'll have labor force soon, but doesn't have stone cutting. So I don't know that I would get labor force before stone cutting. Oh shit, right? That actually is such a terrible hand. Mill drill, spoked wheel, monasticism, and labor force. Mill drill also wants stone. I don't know what I would have picked. I guess mill drill because I really need the science, and then you really want to get stone cutting. But roads would be nice as well, but I don't know that I would be buying. I don't know that I would pay 60 gold for every road. Well, you do have money, so. So you know what do you mean that Persia loves any free science it can get early because you can ramp your other incomes by harvesting and building pastures? I don't know what you mean by free science. "17 orders on Persia." Ooh, I hate these stockpile ambitions. I feel like they are such traps. Training is perhaps the least offensive one because you can rally troops once you get military force, but like this is going to take years to finish.
Yeah.
Money is also,
It's early.
you can sometimes sell stockpiles to do money, so it's not terrible, but like, unless my general rule of ambitions is unless I can finish it in like 10 or 15 years max, I'm not taking it. And this one is like, this is a 21-year ambition at our current training rate. All right, Babylon has cleared this camp and has a settler pretty much ready to go. Love to see that. It's always good to line that up. And we got our first raids because it is turn 30. So we see the Thracians are equal opportunity raiders and have decided to raid Persia to the east and Babylon to the west. So both players are not at peace with them. Fortunately, Babylon has troops right here. And that settler should be there. So yeah, Babylon is going to go up a city. Both actually kind of stalled out at 4 cities for a little bit.
There's something I wanted to mention about Babylon as well. Like he discovered military drill pretty early, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't build any barracks in his stages seat, which I think would be the right play because he has, what, 3 or 2 marbles? So he could easily had 1 or 2 officers by now, right? And then not only you build them faster, you get more training, and you also get more science because it's a sage seat.
He also did get constitutions. Yeah, each of those would have been a 4 science. 4 science officer. Yeah. It's huge. And we do have a drought. Fortunately, both players are very well stocked with food, so shouldn't be any issues there. Yeah, back to Persia. Persia does look to be going towards that southeastern site. We do have a early, looks like we got a trapper in this city. I like assigning the luxury to my millet, so a luxury that is of my family. I don't like giving it to the families early because you don't really need to early. I like putting them on the seat of that family first because it gives you 3 culture in that and some happiness. So like if you go here, you can send this and it will give you 3 culture and 3 happiness, especially for like military seats. Getting to strong, you need to invest into getting to strong for your military seat, and you definitely want to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see here. We have a daughter upgrade. Always good to take those wisdom upgrades, just because your court, of course, gives you a little bit of wisdom. Wow, this is incredible. 8 charisma orator. That is neutral. Oh, also, Persia has assigned governors in every city, which I don't think is the right play. Diplomat governors can be helpful for opinion, but I don't know that you need. I mean, definitely you want to have a governor in your cap, which obviously is your leader, and it's sometimes, depending on the governor, worth putting it into like your other seats. And judge governors are good always, wherever you can put them in a developing city so you can buy stuff with them. Yeah. But I wouldn't burn civics on governors early unless they're amazing. All right, desperation. This is the drought. The correct choice here is if you can afford the food, definitely take it because distant tribal raids are the ones that show up on the side of the map. And he unfortunately took it. And yeah, but this is why you do not take the distant raid because look, this is a problem. Dear God. Oh my God. That is a club thrower, an elite skirmisher, a nomad skirmisher, and an Amazon cavalry. So 2 5-strength units, 2 4-strength units, and a 3-strength unit right outside your capital. This is, you could have paid 80 food to avoid this, and you should have paid 80 food to avoid this. Especially since you have 800 food banked. I would like, even if I didn't have 80 food, I would sell everything I could to get 80 food just to avoid this. This is definitely a mistake by Babylon. Fortunately, he does have his units here, but it's awkwardly that he's got a raid coming in here, so now he's got to deal with this. And they're going to pillage the crap out of his capital.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be ugly. And yeah, he's going to lose a lot of orders, right? So that there's also an opportunity cost of what else he could have done with those orders. He has not harvested anything because he has no spare orders. So, oof, already double pillage. Yep, yeah. That's rough. Labor force 1 year away, and he's starting to clear this. His camp is going to upgrade into encampment, which will be a 5-strength. Yes, that was in the tooltip. It did say distant tribal raid, but if you're not familiar with what that is, you may assume it's just a camp that's a raid. No, it spawns units on you. It's like if you play single player, you will get events from the edge of the map, which I always have found infuriating in single player. Fortunately, competitive mode disables them. But they still exist in the events, so they can happen via events like this. And I remember I was playing a game once with Fluffy Bunny, and there was a drought, and he couldn't afford it, and like I think they just took him like 10 turns to deal with. He still won the game because he's Fluffy Bunny, but yeah. All right. Persia's actually got a pretty big military force, like 5 units, with a 6th on the way. It's pretty big. They're similar. Yeah, Babylon has just had these 2 units completely stalled out this entire time.
You might have to move them towards the capital to defend against that raid.
I think these 2 are like I don't know that I would move these against. I think he's got enough here, right? He's got 1,
it's
2.
Actually pretty far. Yeah, you're right. I didn't expect it to be.
If I had roads, maybe, but like without roads, no, not in this terrain. Hittites actually would be really interesting on this map, just because there's so many hills. Yeah, if you can avoid distant raids, though, avoid them. And again, since he is assigning generals, that stockpile ambition is getting further and further away. So stockpile ambitions, unless you can complete them that turn or in the next couple turns, do not take them because you tend to deplete your stockpile. All right, we did get border boost. He did juggle, so nice job, Babylon. So this is now, Persia should see these borders and know that the Babylonian city here. And these are actually really oppressive borders, and this is a hunter city. This city is not going down without a fight. Meanwhile, and he's got machinery marked. Ooh. All right, tech choice here, Wetlander. We just got border boost as Babylon. Our choices are metaphysics, compo, monasticism, and machinery.
I don't think there's much of a choice here.
Well, it's not metaphysics, it's not compo. I could see a case for monasticism, though. He does have Zoro.
Oh, he actually went for monasticism.
I don't feel like you're under any pressure from your opponent, but obviously machinery early does give you a ton of security. Like 3 onagers in this city is like nothing is coming in. Right?
He goes for the 4th law, I think, after all.
Yeah, he's on 3 laws, so that is a 4th law. Yeah, I don't know. Tech choice here for Persia, because he just researched labor force, mill drill, navy, phalanx, and monasticism. He still doesn't have stone cutting? Oh my god.
That's the builder.
It's brutal. I think. What would you advise here?
Mill drill, I guess. The quickest, and then again, officers would allow you to boost.
Officers get you some science, yeah. We'll see if he builds roads. Haven't seen any urban buys from his builder. We could have also seen like an urban buy here, which would have grabbed this. So that could have been an easy way to grab that into those tiles for Persia advice. We do have a raid coming in here with nothing ready to defend it. And Persia does see this city, of course, does not know the stealthed arch slingers there. It's clearing this site, should be able to clean it up nicely. And yeah, that's a great point. So, you know, like, because Babylon has this lake, they can water move across it. I would be tempted to build something here to grab the honey. Or even like build a farm and like put a specialist in it so that you can, although I don't think a specialist here would pop.
No, I probably wouldn't.
You'd have to build a shrine here or something. But yeah, this is the, I almost want to say when I play Persia, I actually take stone cutting first. I do not take divination first. I just say, I don't care about Zoro. I need stone cutting because it is too painful to not get stone cutting. That said, then you end up in a situation where you don't get divination for a long time, which is also painful. So I really don't like nations that don't start with at least one of stone cutting and divination. Because I feel like go ahead.
You can safely get away without stone cutting if you have enough gold. I definitely wouldn't like go for early stone cutting if I have enough gold. It depends on the choices you have, but sometimes, like if I want the divination, I would go for it before stone cutting.
Yeah, that's true. Divination accelerates your game a lot more than stone cutting because you can just buy the stone. You can't do anything for the science or the acolytes. This is painful. Distant tribal raid. All right, we've got a choice of hero orator on our heir. What would you pick and why? She's already intelligent.
So choices like that heavily depend on like what's your like game plan is. Are you trying to push early? Are you trying to just develop? If I'm developing, if I somehow see that my opponent is low on science, I would probably go orator here.
He does see Persia's primitive, so
yeah, definitely orator. Hero is a very specialized archetype.
the other unit, the twin, is a tactician or zealot for the second one.
Tactician, I think.
Tactician for just the general?
Yeah. Probably one of the best generals early on, tacticians, especially if you expect to push. I mean, he probably doesn't, but
yeah,
extra science.
The extra science is also really nice. And he did go orator, so we might see some orator play here. That discipline does hurt on the orator, though. So, all right.
It's like something. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Something to consider maybe for a Babylon player. He picked monasticism right now as his fourth law. I guess that's the idea. It's probably would have been better to take machinery, so you get a very strong unit early on. You don't have to build it, but you have access to it, and you get the free resources card if you need it at some point, and it could be also a good option to cycle your techs if you get like a poor option. You take resources. We usually want to take free resources in any case.
The goods boost card.
Yeah. But another thing is to consider if I'm not sure what the Babylon plan is, but if you are, he actually doesn't have. Oh no, that was Persia. Never mind. Does Babylon have 3 laws right now?
He does. Yes.
He does.
Okay. I can swap over to Babylon and show you the tech tree just for completeness.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So even if you're considering monasticism for the sake of the fourth law, I think machinery would have been better because labor force is still there for your fourth law, and labor force is a lot cheaper. And also, I would argue a more valuable law at this point. So you take machinery and then you just cycle into labor force eventually. I think overall that would have been a higher value choice. I think.
Yeah, goods boost is good as well, and Yeah, I mean, your UU is really expensive in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah,
wood, and especially with this city site founded, like I just am salivating at the idea of like 4 onagers and
yeah,
forts on these hills with like
yeah.
some
It's
spears
unbeatable.
blocking here, and like nothing is going to touch this city,
Yeah.
and you can just wall off the map and yeah. Um, all right, swapping back to Persia, but I think yeah, 4 laws. It's very tempting to get the 4th law, so I totally understand the Babylon player choosing to get the 4th law. But yeah, you have one city with Zoro. You haven't finished founding. So like I generally like to get monasticism after I've all my cities or almost all my cities, because that way I can go poly and then build a shrine in every city and then swap to monasticism without having to like hold poly, because poly is expensive to hold because it costs money. And I usually find myself pretty tight on money. So all right, going sages. So we're up to 2 sage cities, 1 artisan city, and 3 hunter cities. I think those are all defensible. This is a great choice for hunter on the front line. This is obviously a great choice for hunter with the fur, and the capo is a great choice. Oh my god, this raid.
Yeah, it is painful.
Yeah, Sino makes the good point that you don't have forestry yet. So you're going to have to be chopping all your wood. Monasteries, of course, are wood upkeep. And also cost wood, and then your unique unit costs wood. So you don't
Yeah,
have the orders for chopping, so it's just going to be really painful to try to get like monasteries actually make it harder to get your unique unit. And if you're not building monasteries, why are you getting monasticism? So yeah, I think I agree with you that machinery would be the better choice. And onagers are stone upkeep, which is they do cost wood to build, but they do not have wood upkeep. So. And upkeep is like one of those very small things in this game, right? You don't notice it until you notice it. And you're like, oh shit. It's always buried here, right? Like we're paying 20 food a turn thanks to all our things. We're paying 5 iron because developing, and also barracks. And then we're paying for our slingers, because slingers are stone upkeep. Holy shit, the pillaging. This is so painful in Babylon. Oh my god. That distant raid. That was definitely a mistake. Meanwhile, in Persia, so both players have had some deal with rebels and raids, and Persia should be clearing out this site. We do have a settler coming out, which is pretty great. We've got a raid coming in here. Curious to see which site Persia will settle next. This one feels like the natural next one, except for there's a Babylonian hunter city next to it, and this one is a little awkward to get to.
he's got a new leader as well.
He does. He has a judge. A Pathfinder Delver insane judge. So that is not going to help the science output over in Babylon. He died of severely ill. He's always got the make happy event. Lots of food to give around there. And then, what is this? Your wife has passed away. I don't know what this chains into. Do you know? Joy and pain? I think I almost always take loyal here. So.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I usually go for morning.
Yeah, morning is great to get XP on a leader. I think it lost its ill chance, which is good. And he did not take loyal, so he's going to take the event, which is interesting. That was called Joy and Pain. Let me look up what that chains to. It could chain to... Oh, there's actually no follow-up event. Okay, well, it's good to know. At least according to my event tracker. Right, can get a XP on the leader. Steward of the Land, such a trap choice because it costs +1 year to build improvements as governor. Yeah. No, it's got that on a builder leader, and I was like, oh no, what have I done? Canceled my builder bonus. All right, so Persia. Gonna get another trapper. We have 1 rancher, but not another one. We do have that settler coming down, so we will Babylon up 6 cities. Okay, we're getting that next rancher, so we'll get Judaism probably around turn 40. We have the judge. Judge is really nice because I think judge is probably my favorite second leader because hold court is incredible. Babylon does
Yeah,
have this raid here. Go ahead.
yeah, it can be absolutely. I mean, usually is the whole court, a lot of civics, a lot of extra resources of all kind. You can get lucky with a lot of signs from the whole court.
Courtiers are really good. Um, they really help with your cognomen. Steward of the land, Senate says, is one of those steward of the land is one of those weird traits that works as a solution for a surprising amount of events. How so? I guess I haven't played with it that much, so I don't know that. I guess maybe it just unlocks options that are locked behind it. Yeah, look at all this pillaging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This seven things pillaged in the capital. That's wild. It's going to be so much repairing. And then the raiders are pillaging over here. 4 things pillaged over here. We've got 11 pillaged resources. Thankfully, none of these were in artisan cities because that would have been really painful. So artisans get pissed off at stuff being pillaged. But this is, yeah, if you had just paid that 80 food, we wouldn't have that distant raid. We had an army here ready to go. This is a big roadblock. Do not like this festival. It is not an autonomous city. There is no excuse building a festival here. Especially as an artisan city. No reason to build a festival. Is there ever a reason to build a festival?
It's harder for me to comment on the multiplayer, I guess. Probably not. And not in multiplayer for sure. I remember there were certain events associated with the festival, I think, that would give you extra culture. So if you're trying to push the city to developing, it might be worth it. I mean, if you want to gamble.
Here's a really great event for Persia, Darkened Moon, which gives you 120 science, which is 6 turns of science for him. So hopefully he will pick that event.
It's huge.
And since he is insane, he has the choice of lose a city, make a family furious, or abdicate the throne and swap to a 4-year-old. So presume make family furious is the easiest one to fulfill because you can just trade tiles to do it. Losing a city seems a lot harder. Of course, you can just ignore the ambition and take the 5 legitimacy hit when it expires as a legacy. Love this road building here from Persia. I don't think Babylon has built any roads yet, so that's because Babylon doesn't have a labor force yet. So advantage Persia for the road network, which will save them more orders. How many turns for a new turns for new citizen in there? They were 1 year away. When they started the festival, they were 3 years away. So yeah, definitely not worth doing a 5 turns festival. So yeah, and we did get the 120 science, which gave us mill drill, and then we chose stone cutting. So Persia getting back on track here, and yeah, that science event, super good. Things are looking up for Persia, and he took the lose a city ambition. So in case something goes poorly, he'll at least fulfill that ambition. Or maybe he's going to let raiders take the city. Do not do that. But yeah. And yeah, the stockpile ambition is not going to get fulfilled because he keeps assigning governor, he keeps assigning generals, and yeah, stockpile ambition's just such a trap. Honestly, I would just cancel that because it's now a legacy, so you can just cancel it for -5 legitimacy, and that way you can get a new ambition. You got a raid coming in here, and wow, this just has been such a disaster for Babylon. They were so, I want to say they had a pretty clean opening, and then this tribal raid, this distant tribal raid here, this tribal raid, and now they got this tribal raid going on. Just like this one will be fine because there's nothing to pillage, but like they've got so many things pillaged.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of orders spent.
Yeah, orders are the one thing Babylon doesn't have.
Yeah. He might have misclicked the event, I'm suspecting. I mean,
yeah, very possible.
He has hunters. He has 3 camps in the capital.
It's got 800 food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have just been a misclick. Hopefully he will start repairing some of these things because they're going to start timing out here. 5 years. You definitely do not want them to. Okay, we do have 2 workers ready, so should be able to deal with it, but it is a lot. Obviously, you want to. He just doesn't have the orders because he's dealing with units on 3 fronts. Yeah, 25 science versus 44. All right, Persia is going for it. That's one thing Persia does have aplenty orders. We have 1 settler here. We don't have a settler. Okay, that settler's going here. Wow, that's actually pretty good growth. So we got 40 growth in that city. Nice road building. Going to take out these Thracians, presumably, with a settler on the way. So I don't think Babylon will be able to threaten this city right now. If he had onagers, though, to your point, he definitely could, right? This is the
Yep.
right. If you have onagers, suddenly you can take the city, and
Absolutely.
yeah, like an onager here will 1, 2, 3, 4 will hit this site, won't hit here. If Persia takes the city, they should found as far away from Babylon as they can. Just because this is going to be a front city, and this should be a hunter city. Hunter versus hunter. All right, well, it's turning into a pretty interesting game, I gotta say.
I think Babylon is going to run away with science eventually. That's why he already is probably far ahead. If you can check the totals.
Yes. He hasn't yet converted that science into an advantage, though. So there is a window here for Persia. It's going to be hard to attack into tactician, though. So, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, clearing this. Yeah, just the order. The orders are a problem. That's another advantage of onagers. Onagers in a static position are incredibly order efficient because they just take 1 order to attack something. Obviously, a pain in the butt to get them, but I would just produce them in this city, and then I never have to move them, right? Like, please do not build onagers in this city ever, because you never want to build, like, just not a good idea to build onagers that far back. Just not a good idea. It's going to take way too long, especially without a road network. Now we're getting monasticism here. No one has adopted a state religion. No one has the civics. Other challenge here, I guess, with monasticism, we don't have the civics to enact it. So I think one thing that's a good thing to keep in mind is try to time your law techs around your civics. There's not much point in getting a law tech that you can't afford the law for. Obviously, monasticism, you have other benefits. You can, of course, build monasteries. So there is, but like, I think it's similar to like, you want to have a settler ready when you clear a site. You want to have civics ready when you pick up a law, right? So we could have gotten machinery, and then we'd have gotten labor force and had a law ready there. It's slightly more efficient, I guess. I don't know. Mercenary axemen for Persia. Yes, please. 320 gold for mercenary axemen. That's great. Kind of forgot about our road network, I guess. Using our orders. Ooh, we do not have, okay, we're sending military unit up here. But really liking this for Persia because they're beginning to concentrate their forces, right? So it's going to be pain in the butt to attack into this. But again, to your point, Wetlander, had Babylon gotten machinery, they would have been able to start an onager here next turn. And even a single onager in this site would have been really good deterrence. But if Persia goes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, I still think hunters will hold this site, but yeah. Zoro has 1 city right now, so yeah. I do not like this miner. So rural specialists like this in non-landowner cities that have no resources. I think this was intended as a tile grab. I don't love it. Like in general, I think unless you have a very specific reason, you do not want to ever build a rural specialist on a tile without a resource. Just not worth doing. Sweet, sweet stone cutting. All that marble just sitting there. So we're going to get our first quarries down at like probably turn 42 or so. All right, we're almost done connecting as well. So we will get connected here. And then I have a lot more connecting to do on this map because there are no rivers.
Yeah. Persia can afford the road building, given how many orders they have. But
Yeah,
has he built the third farm in his capital for his wonder?
he has. Yes, he did. He did
Yes,
get that
okay.
third farm. So that is bringing him up to 25 science. Also getting a lot of science here because that apprentice acolyte and that miner. All right, we have monasticism. Yeah, I think you have to take civics boost.
Yeah,
no other
you
choice.
no.
Especially when you are so short. All right. Oh my god. The raiders are still not dead. This has been so many turns. Presuming he is not taking matchmaker. Oh no, mutiny. I always kind of like this option where you can just kill the for 200 training. I'm like, well, what's a general?
He did.
He did, yeah. It's like 200 training. 6 festivals, do not take that ambition. 2 elder poets, probably not a good one if you don't have drama. You just take the XP. Yeah. 10 harvestable resources, 0 harvest so far from Babylon, because you just do not have the orders. Civics boost is good, and ironworking is available next turn, so definitely want to get ironworking into labor force, into navigation. Building a scout. I don't love the scout, because you do not have the orders for a scout right now. I understand the idea behind a scout to get more vision, but I don't think you have the orders to move that scout. And if you're going to build a scout, build it from here, because it's a lot closer to the front line. Can we end for today? We are approaching the 2-hour mark. So looks like this will be the end of part 1. So kind of a quiet start to the game. And I'll take a save in case our players do not. Please remember to take a save. Please take a save. And yeah, so we can do a quick stat review very quickly. So mill score, relatively even, 280 versus 240, pretty close. No one's doing anything crazy. Orders, big advantage for Persia, 20 to 14 and almost 600 to 400. Science, big advantage for Babylon, 47 to 24, almost double, and then 1270 to 800. So yeah, that's the big difference. Worker turns, 94 to Babylon to 69, despite being so order constrained, and 27 to 25 improvements. And then, yeah, other resources, pretty good. And looks like the players are indeed saying save is made. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Babylon is getting some advantage with science. So
yeah,
Persia will have to address that in the next game, in the next session. But yeah, I think Babylon has more cities, more science, right? More civics in 3 turns, which will help him activate the laws, not so much for the sake of the unique units, but just for the resources, right? I'm not sure how many laws he has, but he will have at least 4.
He has 3 right now, so once he gets
so
civics, that'll be 4. Yeah, no one has built pyramids. We do have some arid tiles, so pyramids are an option. Would love to see someone grab pyramids because that saves you a ton of civics. And 600 stone is reachable.
And Persian heir is which archetype?
Persian heir is he has a 6-year-old. So
all right. What about Babylon?
Babylon
I think it was
has
Orator,
a
right?
orator, yes, with -2 discipline, which is gonna really suck. So
she's intelligent as well, so I think Babylon will be planning for developing game, like developing his cities, developing his science, which he will have a very good push for. With
yeah,
intelligent there.
yep, and pretty defensible position. Like the map is pretty easy to split, right? So you like this. This is a 3-tile choke. This is a one tile choke if you don't worry about the lakes, and it's going to be really hard to get those lakes into borders. So that's a one tile choke. And then you got the mirrored 3 tile choke. So that's a 7 tile choke, right? You can wall off. If Babylon takes the city, it's a little bit more open, but you can kind of do a double choke this way. So yeah, like if I'm Babylon, I settle my side of the map, wall up, maybe take this city too, wall up here, put some onagers behind there, both of these as hunter cities, and then be like, what are you going to do? I'm just going to tech behind this. Full eco with like 5 onagers in each city. You're not going to break through.
Yeah, and you got, I think Babylon will have a nice boost to orders in a bit. He'll get the navigation, not necessarily next turn, so to say, but like soon he's going to get navigation by the time he gets the heir on throne. So he might have like extra 6, 7 orders, like even more, probably 8, 9, depending on the opinions of his families. So I think he has it highlighted as well, navigation, right? So it's going to be about 9, 10 extra orders, and then with all the extra science, Babylon will start developing very quickly.
Meanwhile, Persia, their tech tree looks like this, nothing marked. And yeah, sovereignty early is always so strong because the civics boost lets you enact those laws. You have 3 laws on that path by itself. So, and as you were saying earlier today, machinery is just there. And on especially maps where you can wall off like this, onagers are really strong, and onagers are also, like if no one gets onagers, it's fine, right? You just fight without onagers.
Yeah.
If one player has an onager and the other player doesn't have onagers, you need to kill that onager. And if you don't kill that onager and there's now suddenly 2 or 3 or 5 onagers, you're in deep trouble because they can just outrange you. And you need your own onagers. Cool. Yeah. I guess that is it. Thank you so much. It was great co-casting with you. Love to hear your insights and analysis.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And we'll see when the players schedule this match, this follow-up. Thanks so much. And thanks everyone to chat. And take care.